Alright, so welcome back to another weekly episode of the saga known as WideFox. If you need another beverage, whether it's coffee, beer, or soda, you need to go to the bathroom, here's fair warning. Do it now, hit pause, I will wait, because this is a lot of stuff to ingest for this weekly episode. Alright, you guys ready? Let's check the scoreboard, because we got a lot of stuff done this week. So if you notice on the board right here, on just the stuff that was ready to go, honestly, most of it is crossed off. I have had a very busy week, and let's talk about first, wrapping the dash pieces. Are you ready? So ever since I wrapped all the trim on WideFox in the 3M DiNoc carbon fiber about last year, probably last summer, I've had some extra material left over that I've been hoarding. Now the whole intention of that was that I wanted to wrap the two dash pieces, so the gauge bezel on the 4i and then the passenger side on there. I had some extra material and I wrapped that. So both pieces came out pretty nice. This is obviously the passenger side. A couple small mistakes here and there, but nothing major, too much to worry about. The passenger side looks really good. And then here's the driver's side, obviously, the gauge cutouts and that. So the original of this on the WideFox was wood grain. Both these pieces were that faux wood grain. This is actually one from an 85 GT. And one of the bottom pieces here on the original one for the WideFox was broken. So I went and got this from a salvage yard. I think it was on Salvage Yard 2.0, I think, that I could pick this up. And I've been hoarding this in the cabinet. So just cleaned it up. Obviously did everything there, got it all in. Now I did get some footage of that, so I will show you that, but I did not do a tutorial on this because it's almost too similar to doing the trim. So here's the footage of it without a tutorial, so enjoy. Alright, so keeping with the vinyl theme now, you know that this is going to be the graphic on the car, on the hood to start with. And that's because I'm going to be a little flashy in the beginning to really make a visual impact, and I may end up taking this off next year, something like that, once I get tired of it. So I did get all my samples in. Now I'm just going to kind of show you the colors of them, and then I'll toss them on the hood, and you guys can decide. So you can, guess, solicit or offer what colors you like, and I'll just do them in this order, and then you guys can throw it out. And probably going to be a couple weeks before I order, so it'll give you some time to look at these. So with this, knowing this is the hood, here's the first one. It's called a Satin Carmine Red. Kind of a matte red color. There you go. Next one is a gloss radioactive green. You can kind of see it's shimmery. Next one is a gloss red pearl. Next one is a matte cherry metallic. Not very flashy, but it would be something nice. Alright, next one is satin urban jungle. Now this one is what they call a color flow, so if I get to the right light, it'll look blue to purple to green to a root beer. It kind of changes based on the angle. Next one is a matte Gamut metallic. I think it's a matte garnet is what it should be. There you go. A little bit different from the Carmine Red, obviously. Next one is a matte purple metallic. Ooh, purple. Kind of goes along with it. Alright, this is obviously a matte brilliant blue metallic. There you go. And a matte green apple metallic. You can kind of sense the theme here of matte metallics. And the last one is a satin grass green. Now this is probably what you guys will think is lime green, but that kind of goes up there. So 1 through 10, you guys throw it out there. I've given you the names. You can tell me what you like of all of these 10. When we first got them, I did this. My wife and I laid this out. If you've seen it on Instagram, I also put a picture up there. I think I put it on Facebook also in the Fox Body Addict group, so you guys can know that's out there. With all these 10, we initially started 10. We got it down to 5. We got it to 3. And one of these is going to be the color of WideFox in the future. I'll leave it up to you to throw in your opinion, but the decision has been made, and I'm going to leave it as a guess. You won't know until I start wrapping it. Alright, so with those two things out of the way, those are pretty awesome for this week. Here's where it starts to get kind of crubby. So after I filmed last week and talked about not having the parts in and not having all the pieces, I came back out to the garage last Friday night. And while having the starter work was awesome, I really started struggling with the wiring. The reason was I couldn't get the ECM to turn on. And I knew it was one wire, I just couldn't figure out how to do it. And I was looking at literally page after page after page of my wiring diagrams of my Chilton manual, and got to the point where I was literally this close to walking away from this project. I just really was having that moment where I didn't believe in myself anymore. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to get into, but I was that close. I just thought I bit off so much more than I could chew that I can't do this. So rather than keep looking at diagrams, I was already starting to get a headache because you start following these little lines and diagrams, flipping back and forth on pages. I kind of went old school on it. And I know in a relay, you've got a ground, you've got an input hot, you've got it like a switched hot, which is the signal, and then you've got an output. Just on the diagram, I knew what my ground was, I knew what my input was, I knew what my switched was, and I knew my output. I just couldn't figure out where the switched one was. I knew I had power in, ground. I knew I had the output because it was going to the ECM. So I just basically started tracing the physical wire in the car. And what I realized is that I never had that input wire from the 92 harness. I had cut it out. So on the 80, because it never had an ECM, it never had that additional switched wire. And kind of going old school, started tracing physical wires, what I ended up finding was that the ignition switch in the 80 had a dead circuit. It had a wire that went to a connector kind of buried deep in the harness, but it never had an output. Just using a test light, I knew it turned on when I turned the key, so I had my input. And it was already like an 8 gauge or a 12 gauge or something. It was thick, big, thick wire, so I knew it was going to be perfect. I ran that, and sure enough, I then had the switched wire. Turned the key on, ECM clicked on, fuel pump clicked on, all the little bells and whistles lit up. So that was awesome. I now knew that I had everything I needed, and now I just needed to make it work. So once I got the ECM and all that clicked on, things went really quick after that. So I did get the parts in. Obviously, the vinyl samples came in. Same day I went and picked up the clips I needed for the return line on the fuel system. That was easy. It's literally just put it in there, pop it on. Fuel system was complete. I knew the fuel pump would try to prime. I didn't know if it would pump gas. So I came in, a few days ago, threw in about 4 gallons of gas in there, turned the switch on. It immediately sucked up fuel, no leaks, which has been awesome, thankfully. And everything else went quick. So, return line connection went on there, quickly done. On the gauges itself, I can tell you my fuel gauge does work, not really accurate. It shows, well, I don't really know. I've never set the car level. But I can tell you it's probably about half tank with about 3.5 gallons in it, which it's a 15-gallon tank. It should be more like a quarter. We'll have to work on that. So if I get over here, you notice 3 things went very quickly. Obviously, coolant is in the car. Power steering fluid is in the power steering pump. And I also measured a belt and bought it. So I did do a video on that. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll put a link up top that you can go check out how to custom measure for your serpentine belt if you have changed any of your routing or anything else, deleted anything. Very helpful. You guys hopefully enjoy that. It was fun to make. So at that point, I immediately thought this car is going to fire up. I've put all the wiring back exactly the way I wanted. Got so excited. I had my wife come out. She stood by me with a fire extinguisher, because you never know. And this is how the first startup tried. Fire extinguisher.
Didn't work. Can it catch fire? You got any ideas?
Got to get the battery unplugged and make sure it's reducing the power and get the flames out.
No, I meant like, yeah, the idea where it would start on fire.
Under the dash, probably.
Okay.
So that didn't go very well, but that's okay. What I ended up doing is started tracing wires back. Now I realized I still hadn't hooked up any of the gauges. I had some extra wires I hadn't done, so through the process of elimination, I started finding issues that I had. So one issue I had was going to be a cap and wire. These were actually pretty worn, and the center connector here on the cab itself was broken. So I went and got a new one of these, just cheapies, to replace. So those are brand new. Trouble is, still won't start. So I did buy a new set of plug wires so I can swap those over, but I don't think that's my problem. I've checked the coil. It does work, it at least charges. It's not discharging into the engine itself or up through the cap and rotor. I know it works because I grounded myself, and that really hurts if you get a coil shock like that. It's a lot of voltage, and it doesn't hurt, or it does hurt when you hit your funny bone. It ain't funny. So at this point right now, all I'm doing is chasing wires and trying to figure out if my TFI is bad, if my signals are bad, and it's frustrating. So again, the car is not going to run this week, unfortunately, but I'm right there. I just got to figure out why it has no spark, and then this baby is going to run. And I don't have mufflers, so you know American Thunder is going to be loud. So unfortunately, we're at the end of another week, and WideFox still does not run. It is very close. I am getting excited by it, but I'm also getting frustrated because I'm tired of dealing with wiring. But it was a complex problem to start with, so that's okay. I'll get it. There's going to be a show in 2 weeks in Bonanza, Oregon. It's the 28th, I believe. They're going to have a chili cook-off or a barbecue cook-off. I can't remember, but they have a car show with it. So I am going to try and get out there. So that will be the debut of WideFox in 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks from now. That is my goal, is to get this done. So once I get it started, obviously top off the coolant, throw in some DEI coolant, some additive from there, get the brakes up to snuff, basically put in the fluid, bleed them all out, get some seats in the sucker, get the gauges done, and get some test miles in, which of course I'll take you guys along with before I get WideFox down there. So it's not going to be wrapped. I may get the hood wrapped and the cowl wrapped because I have the pieces here. I haven't yet ordered the vinyl material that's going to go for the rest of the car, so obviously having it done by the end of July is not going to happen because I'm changing direction again on what WideFox is going to look like. That's okay. I think just black like this is going to be enough to make people stop and go, what the heck? Put the graphic on the hood? Yeah, they're going to be the same way. What the heck? So anyway, end of the week. Let me know what you guys think of the vinyl samples. The dash work I think came out pretty good. A couple of mistakes, but you guys will never see it because I'm just like that. I know all the things I did wrong. I think that's it. It sounds like a lot left, but it's not. And hopefully next weekend, I'm not going to cross fingers at this point. I can't even keep myself straight. I'm going to try and make this thing make noise. That's it from this time at Basin Motorsports. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys hanging with me to the finale of this to get some miles on the sucker. We'll see you next time.